Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here. NCAA talk is about to happen. Got a new guest for you today as we talk Sweet 16 and a little preview of what we might think of the Elite Eight. So, anyways, guys, let's get this thing rolling. How is everybody doing today? My name is Tanner Dawson, the Whiskey Sports Podcast and the Sports Buffoons, and of course, let's talk sports as well. Welcome on in, guys. Hope you're ready for some predictions. Hope some betting advice. Maybe it'll help you, determine between some teams as we go today. Pretty excited for this show. Just the fact that we're still talking college basketball, and we're talking college basketball in the amazing time of frame. So excited for it. Before we get going, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, follow throughout every destination, every channel, because it's amazing from all the contributors we have here around Let's Talk Sports and everybody I've teamed up with. So make sure you guys do that. We'll get to it. All right, let's welcome in. Mike, Big Mike from Man Cave Media coming into play. If you guys remember, the first episode of the Whiskey Sports Podcast was the Man Cave Media.
That's right. That's right.
So we got him back. We're going to talk break down the brackets here and get predictions and get some thoughts here. Mike, Big Mike, welcome in, dude.
Thanks for having me again, man. I love coming on your show, man.
Dude, I'm so excited when you volunteered, and I'm like, yes, let's get him in. Let's talk about it. So, all right, let's start here. Let's bring up the bracket for everybody to see as we go around the horn on this here. I didn't get this ready, of course, right? There we go. All right, let's bring it up. We're going to start over here in the South area, guys. We have Alabama, San Diego State going here on tomorrow. Pretty easy game for me here. I'd say Alabama should be able to squash these guys. I had San Diego State losing in the first round, for God's sake. Didn't think they had to play Furman second round, though. So they kind of got to the Sweet 16 on a little bit of luck and going. So what's your thoughts here?
I totally agree with you. Charleston was supposed to beat them, and then they had Furman.
Correct.
And, they had that easy path, and now they go against a defensive monster with Brandon Miller, who just, God, I'm talking about a dominant player. Like this dude on both ends of the ball, defensively and offensively, he just does the job.
You saw him in the first game. He didn't even score any points. It was the way he contributed to his team was allowing the team to be able to get open, the second chance points, the defense he provided. You don't need to score points as a dominant player sometimes.
Nope.
To get your team the right way.
Nope, because it's all eyes on you. So
yes.
When they're looking at you, someone's getting open and he's getting those assists. He grabs double-digit rebounds, and he's getting 3 blocks every game.
Every game. I think he's about to have a heyday against the San Diego State team.
Oh yeah,
it's not even pretty. So we both got Alabama winning, of course, in this matchup here. On the second half of the South bracket, guys, is Creighton and Princeton. Very interesting matchups. Didn't expect either team to be in this position. Last weekend, I did put in some FanDuel money to bet Princeton to beat Missouri. Felt pretty confident in that, and it worked out really well in my favor. And then Baylor losing to Creighton. Who would have thought a Baylor team, yes, I know they struggled the last 2 weeks. They didn't look good at all, but you would expect tournament time they would have turned something on. It just looked like they gave up come the second half. They just didn't want to be there anymore. So Creighton ended up continuing their fire streak over the season. Such a great season for that team too. Playing Princeton here. Honestly, for me, I think the bigger and smarter team, which they're both pretty smart, that's how far they've come. I think Princeton actually wins this game. I've picked Princeton in this. I feel like they don't allow Creighton. They don't allow anybody else to tell them how to play. They play at their own pace. They control the ball, and you can see that they are fairly sized well with a lot of these teams. So what's your thoughts here on this Creighton-Princeton matchup?
Well, listen, nobody had Princeton doing anything in this tournament, but I did have them beating Mizzou last. I had that. When you're betting or whatever. But I had Creighton going all the way to this point. I had them beating Baylor.
Okay.
Because I was not hype on Baylor's guard play. Like they have
Wow.
weak guards, and it's just once you get one step on them, you blow right by them, right down the middle. So this game is like the battle of the white boys. That's what this is. It's all white boys out there. I mean, McDermott is a hell of a coach, man, and I love that guy. The way he gets these players riled up, what he knows how he knows what to say to these guys at the right time. I'm gonna go with the Blue Jays. I think Creighton gets in it. I think it's a lot to do with coaching.
Yeah, I look, I don't think there's a wrong answer in this game matchup, just because you've seen Creighton they've been on fire all year long. They beat teams, they beat UConn, they beat a bunch of other teams.
Yep.
They shouldn't be beat. And this is a team that some expected to be a little dangerous come to tournament time, and well, that's where we're sitting here, Sweet 16 right now.
Yep.
Here's a Creighton team possibly going to the Elite Eight here after tomorrow. So it's gonna be a great matchup. Now, what do you think here? The potential of an Alabama Creighton, Alabama Princeton. Either of those two teams have a chance to beat Alabama?
I don't think so.
So basically, it's their death at Alabama.
Listen, it's Alabama's to lose pretty much coming out of this side, and that's how I look at that.
That's true.
Defensively, they are so dominant, but if someone decides they know how to pick apart, then how to control Brandon Miller even more so, then I guess they have a shot. But again, it's like boxing. They have a puncher's shot, but it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Yeah, I agree with you. I think you're easily Alabama's path right now should be a cakewalk into the Final Four. Cakewalk into the Final Four by far. All right, let's move on here. No reason to stay on those matchups there. Let's move down to the East here, the other half of the South area bracket. We got Florida Atlantic still rolling through, and Tennessee facing off tonight, later tonight here. Personally, for me, I have Tennessee in my Final Four in my main bracket. So I see Tennessee having a nice matchup against the Florida Atlantic team. Tennessee just plays better. I think they're Ken Palm's number one most efficient defense as well. Yes, they lost their point guard, but this team could still play really well defense. And I think that's what's really going to hold Florida Atlantic back tonight in this matchup. So I got Tennessee winning. What do you got?
Florida Atlantic ran with FDU. That was a huge thing with them because FDU, that's how they won their game. They ran. They beat Purdue up and down that court like crazy.
We're gonna wear you out.
Yes, and they ran with them, and it blew FDU's mind. Now Tennessee, they lost their point guard, but the thing is, they're so big and athletic.
So big.
They took down Duke. The only thing I look at this, the worry of this, like I like Tennessee. I don't want it to be a letdown. Like they just took down Duke. Now, all right, now we can walk in here thinking we got a cakewalk here, and then all of a sudden they flop. But I think Tennessee will pull it out, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
This is the perfect trap game.
Yes.
I think of this series of the Sweet 16 right now. This is the perfect trap game because it's a Tennessee team. We saw the last couple weeks of the season. They did not play well at all. They dropped from 5 to 12 to almost out of the top 25 within a couple weeks. So yes, this just because they did beat Duke, who had a great rebound in second half season, this Tennessee team is still not the top 5 version of themselves. Right? No. This is not 100% lock.
They're shaky. They're still shaky. There's still parts of them that have holes, and if they let them get big as hell, they're gonna definitely lose this game, and it's gonna be crazy.
Correct. I mean, I think I'm more interested in this game tonight. Outside of the other one here that we'll talk about on the other half of the East bracket, which is Kansas State, Michigan State. Izzo doing Izzo things right now.
Yes.
Looking good for whatever reason. I mean, I just think the way he does his schedule pre-conference, it's better. It's better for everybody. It's something everybody should look at doing if they haven't already, which blows my mind because, some of these teams are cakewalks. Then they get the conference and they crap the bed. So, Michigan State out here beating Marquette, number 2 Marquette last week in a pretty soundly victory. It's fairly close prior to that last 5 minutes, and Izzo kind of, they had their team pull away. It was a little dramatic, but it was an Izzo game. And then Kansas State out here beating Kentucky, which I had Kentucky winning. I was rooting for K-State. Got Kentucky, had Kentucky winning. beating them, I felt like pretty handily as well. So now you got K-State, Michigan State going at it. This is a game. I think the Wildcats walk away from this game. Michigan State, they can shoot at times, but I think K-State's defense just might hold them back enough where Izzo's team might struggle on the board. So I'm going K-State in this matchup.
See, it looks like we're battling here because I'm going the other
love
way. I'm going the other way. And the reason why I'm going the other way is, like you said, Izzo doing Izzo things. See, going into the tournament, he didn't look right. That team did not look good at all. They got blown out by Ohio State, who's trash, straight trash, got beat by double digits. But then they come in here, they play some games. I mean, and they handled Marquette. The key to that game was they took the leading scorer, and that dude scored 7 points.
Yeah.
Defense. Listen, if you're going to bet on this game, don't bet either team on take the spread, take the under. This game is going to be like a 55-50 or some crap like that because they both have great defenses. And again, like you said, I mean, I know K-State can come at them and take the boards away, but I think Izzo does the job and somehow squeaks this one out. And I think Michigan State goes.
There was only one game this season that Kansas State scored under 69 points. Nice. Which was the Wichita State game early in the season. They scored 61. Outside of that, it's been 69 plus for this Kansas State team. And that I think, like you said, the under is going to be should be very hit hard because it's such an interesting matchup that you have two defensive teams, but both teams can put it on the offensive side. So I don't know, man. I'm excited for this. So I have Tennessee, K-State. You have, I assume, Tennessee.
I get Tennessee, Michigan State.
What do you like coming out of that matchup for Tennessee, Michigan State?
See, again,
it's another trap game, right?
Man, it's another crazy thing because all right, Tennessee beats FAU. They play some sorry team or some team that shouldn't be around, and now they're walking in to play Michigan State, even if it's Kansas State. Now you're playing a hell of a defensive squad. One of your best players is hurt. I feel like Michigan State could walk right into the Final Four, and Izzo looks like Izzo. Like, holy crap, he just did what he does any other year and just drags them right through the tournament.
That's what he does. If Izzo makes the Final Four, dude, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like this is just gonna be amazing.
It will be crazy because again, that's a number 10 seed right to the Final Four. I mean, I know that's not a rare thing anymore, but that's still a double digit in the Final Four.
Still a team like people were calling for Izzo's head early in the season, and now he's sitting here a couple games away from the Final Four. Like,
watch, he'll make the Final Four, and then if somehow listen, I don't see this
Coach
happening.
Of the year, here we go.
He makes the finals. You're like, what? And everybody
like, what happened here? Timeout now. No, that's gonna be a good matchup either way between. I think Tennessee, like I said, comes away with it. I mean, look, it's March, right? It's the tournament. Just because I bet these, just because I pick these, doesn't mean I would be loving to see an FAU upset on Tennessee coming out having to face either one of those teams because that's a team that can still run with anybody at this point. So, I mean, I'm all for upsets.
Listen, you know what a crazy stat is? 12 out of these 16 teams have never won a championship. So the odds are someone new is taking home the hardware.
I didn't even know that. I didn't realize
that's the craziest thing.
Because UCLA is really the only one that's won the championship, right?
Yeah, they won. I mean, Michigan State won.
Yeah, Michigan State. UCLA.
Those two. Didn't Bama take it one time? Houston's taking it.
They probably have.
Well, Houston's took it.
Houston took it. 3. Yeah. So that's at least 3 for sure there.
And look, I mean, we're only talking about one more. There's only one more team.
Oh, UConn.
So that's it.
Unbelievable. Wow, that's actually crazy. I did not realize that stat.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty crazy. So that should be interesting there as we figure out who the Final Four is this weekend. All right, let's hop over to the other side of the bracket. We got the Midwest side. Houston, Miami. Miami beat Indiana pretty soundly, actually.
Yes.
Houston beating Auburn. For a minute there, looked close, and then they took care of business. Houston, Miami. I got Houston winning this. I'm surprised Miami made it this far. I thought this Indiana team, the way they've been playing the last 2 weeks, would have taken care of that Miami team, who is kind of banged up, who has been inconsistent in the ACC, and yet we're seeing Miami and Houston going at it. I think this is gonna be a close game. I'm gonna be real with you. I believe Miami is gonna take every last drop into Houston to Houston and make this a tight game. But I still think Houston prevails to move on to the Elite Eight. Who do you got in this game?
Listen, I got Houston, and I had Miami to this point, and the only reason why I had it to this point is because of their length. Listen, I saw Indiana play a lot because again I'm a Big Ten watcher, and they're shaky. They're always shaky, but the coaching over there and their length, man, they can play. And what I love about Houston is you don't see any of those players. I mean, besides Sasser, they're a team built on chemistry. They're not a team built on here's our 2 stars. They're a team built on chemistry. Everybody out there can do the job. Like, that's the craziest thing. And they're not like overly all this guy's better than this guy. It's we're all right here and we all can do it. But no, I got Houston, and if you look at it, those games, they play a tight first half, midway through the second, and then all of a sudden, all right, let's light the match, and boom, they burn right through and win by 20.
I almost bet Miami's first half on that one. Yeah. Whatever the spread the first half is, I'd take Miami to cover that, and then of course Houston to finish it out. So
then take Houston the second half and watch that. That's money raking right
explode. Whatever it is at halftime they have to do, it works. So hopefully they keep going there.
It's like they conserve energy, and then they just go out there and burn.
Yeah. They all take Monsters or Red Bulls and go out and go. Whatever it is to wake them up. Xavier, Texas on the other side of things. Xavier beating Pittsburgh, and Texas beating Penn State, which did come down to the very end on that Texas-Penn State game, as I thought it should have been. A very close one there. On this game here, I have Texas winning Xavier, and I think Xavier is going to play with them. Up to the end. I think Texas is in for another battle in the final 2 minutes to be able to push through. What's your thoughts?
I'm with you on that. I think the spread's like 5.5 in this game. And I think it's literally going to hinder right on that. Like, it's going to be close. I mean, the X-Men, they played against Pitt, and Pitt, they're rough. They're tough guys. Like, they'll bang you up. So that helped them get ready. All right, now we got to go against Texas, who, again, they're a good team. They just came out of Penn State, which is another bang-em-up team. And I really like them. And now you got to play each other. It's going to be a real good game. But I think Texas squeaks it out at the end.
Yeah, I think so, too. Botkins out here says, let's go Canes. He says Texas, and he has a Princeton winning, looks like.
All right.
Appreciate you, Botkins. So on this one here, guys, I got obviously Texas, Houston. Sounds like we're both on the same
Yeah, we're both on that one.
This is where in my bracket it gets a little shaky. I got Texas pulling through, beating Houston. I just think a better, and not a better shooting team, but a better defensive and also a little bigger team is gonna take Houston down to the wire, and I think Texas prevails. What do you got in this Elite Eight possible matchup?
Listen, I got Houston, but exactly what you said. That's exactly what will happen. And the problem is Houston's going to have to find that late to do it. It isn't going to be where all of a sudden they kick on the gears and they blow through it. No. It's not going to happen in this game because Texas will hold them honest and make that go all the way to the end. And if Houston has to find a way, Sasser has to do it. I mean, they're healthy. He just showed up. I was just watching ESPN. They're 100% healthy, Neal and Sasser. So now they're going to have to play, and it'll go right down to the end of that game. But I like Houston.
Right. I'm trying to see real quick here who plays first on Friday, because I think that's going to be a very determined thing of what you're going to want for Texas. So I think Houston plays early on Friday, if I'm right. Let's see here. Yeah, Houston plays 7:15 Eastern. Texas is the night game, the late game at 9:45. Look, if I'm Houston, I just got done with Miami. I am begging Xavier to keep that game close to the very end, because that would be, I guess, technically 2 games, back-to-back games of a last-minute win. And how exhausting is it to try to win 3 games in a row like that?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I mean, yes, you had a week break, but or less than a week break technically, and it's still exhausting for teams to have to play those kind of games.
And it's not even physical exhaustion; it's mental.
Mentally, yes.
Because you going from one team and how they play, and you're beating them, and then you go to another team, and then now you're playing a team that was number one for a good part of the season, and now you're like, man, we got to do this all over again.
And it's a whole different shape of Xavier to Houston. It's just two different sizes, two different kinds of ball. And
Yeah.
it's like, what do you do as a Texas team? I mean, look, Texas makes the Final Four. They've deserved it.
Oh, they definitely do. If they
deserved.
Look,
But
you take down a beat 'em up Penn State, then you go against a hot
Xavier
shooting
team,
Xavier, then you go against Houston, who's just a big dog and all around good, and you make it, you definitely deserve to be there.
I mean, heck, we think about Texas even going back to the Big 12 tournament finals, took on a, Missy McCullers KU team still, but you still took down a KU team handily in the Big 12 finals, come beat Colgate handily. And then you got Penn State, Xavier, possibly Houston in the Final Four. Like, I mean, that you get to the Final Four, man. I think you've had a pretty dang good season. So,
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we got here for the Midwest, guys. We'll hop into the bottom half of this one, which is the West. We have Arkansas, UConn on the top half here. Arkansas beating KU there on the horrendous collapse by my Jayhawks for Arkansas to win. But Arkansas, you saw what they did against Illinois. They did the same thing in the second half against the Jayhawks. They kept fighting. They kept shooting. They kept getting underneath. And the second chance points, the rebounds, the ability to get down there and get your chance to don't let these guys have second chance points. This is going to be a troubled time for UConn, I think. And I have this upset here, Arkansas over UConn, who beat St. Mary's last week as well. So what do you got in this game?
You know what? This one was tough. This one's tough for them because UConn can definitely turn it on.
They can. Yeah.
But like you just said, Arkansas is that team that doesn't give a shit who the hell you are. You just saw it against KU. Like, they didn't care. They went down to the last minute just scrapping away.
Down by 12 with 10 minutes to go. Most teams cipher off, right, and go away. This Arkansas team came back despite foul trouble on 3 or 4 guys. One guy fouled out on a horrible call, by the way. But four guys foul, or with 4 fouls, and they just kept going and going and going. It was one guy after another, and I mean that's how you win ball games. You keep fighting to the end.
Listen, it was next man up time after time on that squad. And you know what? I'm going to take the Razorbacks. I'm with you on that. I think they fight till the end, and unless UConn somehow pulls away in a big way, Arkansas is going to beat them. Yeah.
No, I think Arkansas for sure. I mean, I had UConn was Iona in the first, so I'm surprised
so did I.
They had St. Mary's in the second. Like, yeah, sure, you got a little cakewalk. Now it's time to play a real team, and this is where you might get in trouble. So, Arkansas over UConn. Bottom half of that, Gonzaga, UCLA today as well. Look, I thought about this one very heavily on my mind for the last 3 days. I got Gonzaga beating UCLA today. I got the Zags to take over. UCLA. I think UCLA is still missing a piece that was very key to their defense, and I think that's where you're going to see Drew Timme come into play. And I think it's Timme time. I think Gonzaga rolls over UCLA after beating TCU last week. What's your thoughts?
You know what? I'm right there with you. And you know what I love? Like you said, UCLA is missing a big defensive piece.
Yep.
Drew Timme, you know what he reminds me of? I'm going to put 2 old school players together. He's a big man like Bill Walton, but he's Larry Bird. The man could shoot wherever, but he could do all the post moves of Bill Walton. Yeah. The little left side hook, he could take you to the hole. He could smash it home, but he's also shooting those mid-range jumpers. He could shoot a 3. I mean, Drew Timme can play the game. Everybody's looking at him like he's just some white dude with a handlebar mustache. Nah, this dude can play.
There's a reason there's this far, and he also plays defense. He can essentially stop any momentum going down low.
But
it kills teams.
He had like 3 or 4 blocks the other game. Like, they had 8 blocks together coming out of the first half.
Yeah, it's like you're having a hard time down there. And if you're missing a key guy for this UCLA team, this might be a long night for you.
Yeah.
In this as a 2 seed. So yeah, I got Gonzaga over UCLA. You got Gonzaga over
Yep.
UCLA as well. So this means Arkansas, Gonzaga coming in the Elite Eight for us, at least potentially. It's an interesting matchup here. I think the Zags come out in the end to the Final Four after this weekend. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm right there with you, and I think Arkansas. This is going to be a little too much to bite off and chew for them. I mean, they'll scrap. They'll probably be there in the first half, but then again, Zags will pull away, and it won't be pretty in the second half.
I think Arkansas sees a similar team to them, and I think that's going to be their weakness. Is they're going to see a team that's just as fiery, that can play down low, that lives down low most of the time, and that has just a little better outside shooting in the Gonzaga for the outside of things. And I think it's just going to be too much for Arkansas for them in the Elite Eight. So yeah, I think we got. I think that's the first bracket, the only bracket part that we've actually matched up on.
Well, because instead of Texas coming out up top, but yeah, we were up there until Texas coming out. But yes.
Yeah, it's the first one. It's only one, guys. The West, we all agree on for once. All right. I love it. Guys, there's tons of great stuff coming into play. Big Mike, do you have an easy win today, an easy money bet essentially for today, or do you have one tomorrow?
Listen, like I said, that under for Michigan State, K-State, like, there's no way it's going to be some high scoring game between them two defenses. I really feel like that under is going to hit hard. But I don't know. See that UCLA game too with the Zags.
Yeah, I'm taking Zags money line. That's my easy money bet right there.
And you're taking the money line on it. Yeah, I would. Yeah. I like the Zags too to win that outright like no other.
Yeah, I like that one. And then tomorrow, my big one is where are you at? My big one is probably going to be the Princeton over Creighton. If I had to pick a bet there, it'd at least be the spread of Princeton versus Creighton. So I mean, I think it's gonna be a close game there.
What's the points there?
Man, and you asked me that because it's been.
Oh, I thought you were looking right at it. No, you don't gotta look at but
it's all right here. It's all right. It is currently at 9.5.
Dang.
Minus 9.5. I would take that all day.
Yeah, I'm taking the 9.5 too.
Like
that's a lot of points. I thought it was like down in like the 6-7 range.
Well, yeah, yesterday I swear it was like 6.5. And today it must have jumped up a little bit because I didn't take it yesterday. So I might have to put me.
And Creighton's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Listen, the money's swinging hard. The money.
Oh, I know. That's why you got to get in while you can. You know, I did last night. I went through and did myself a little round robin, put a parlay in. I did like 3 round robins, 3 parlays, just kind of a combination of days and then everything like that. So I'm going to have to throw me one more in for some spreads.
Hell yeah, because that's like I said, I always like to wait until an hour before game's about to start and see where it went from earlier to then. I did that with the Rose Bowl game. I liked Penn State the whole time, no matter what. But I waited. I took it at +2. They were getting 2 points when I bet. Oh, and I go watch. An hour before, I told my dude, I go, well, look at what it is now. Now they're giving 3. I said, I told you they're gonna destroy Utah. He's like, nah. Bam, smacked him.
Took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
That's true. I might have to wait till the end. I might have to wait right before it starts.
Yeah, that's what you do. Just see where the money, because you'll see millions of dollars will pour in, and then you'll see that line will go way high, and you'll know there's something up there. If that creeps over double digits, starts hitting 11, then you're like, man, see, that's what would scare me then. If it gets that high, then you're like, man, they might be really trying to blow this one out. But
yeah, a lot of times that's what they try to do. I'm trying to check here real quick. KenPom. So KenPom, guys, if you don't know, efficiency analysts, very great stat for college basketball here. They got UCLA winning by 3 points.
Wow.
They got K-State winning by 1 point, a 70-69 matchup actually.
Wow.
At 1 point. Tennessee 68-64. Very close game there. And then Arkansas, Connecticut, they got UConn coming out with 75-69 for those matchups. And then tomorrow, Xavier, Texas, they got Texas 78-75 on that matchup, which I think predicted very close anyways.
Yeah.
San Diego State, Alabama, they got Alabama 72-66. Feel like that's a little off.
Yeah, that's for that a little too close.
That should be a much bigger score on that spread there. Miami Houston 75-67, and then Princeton Creighton 75-66 in that one. So they got pretty much, they don't have a lot of upsets for KenPom in there.
Nah.
At least looking at, if you look at the fan match stats. So still, I mean, it's college basketball. Just because you have a bunch of stats and analytics, it don't matter anymore. This is the tournament. Anything can happen.
That's right. Anything. It's why it's called madness.
That's right, man. It's not named that way for a particular reason. That's for sure. So,
Yeah.
All right, Big Mike. I appreciate you joining me and coming on, talking a little college basketball.
Always.
Hopefully,
anytime,
hopefully our predictions are right and we win some money. So
sounds good to me.
see what happens, man. By the way, you guys got anything coming up there?
Monday we'll do our, post of all the games that happen, the Sweet 16, Elite 8, with our boy D. And next Wednesday, we like to do a Relax Wednesday show. It's about anything. We talk about anything going on in the world, pretty much. This past Wednesday was women and money. Do they go hand in hand? Stuff like that. Just like to sit and vibe. But
yeah, just kind of relax and just talk.
That's right.
That's what I like. I like that you guys started doing that.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, this will be our 10th episode, or that was our 10th episode.
Was the 10th? Gotcha. That's awesome, man. Keep going, man. Keep going. I love what I'm seeing. So
hell yeah.
All right, guys. Everybody have a fabulous weekend. Hopefully you guys win some bets and watch some great basketball. So
that's right.
We'll be back next week and we'll catch you guys later. See you guys.